Overlord K here, bringing you some EVO pool action, with our first matchup being the main man Swede versus Mr. Green in round 1 of pool D707. So, jumping right into the game, we have Mr. Green on the left playing as Bob, as the main man playing as Kazuya on the right. This is the third game, as we saw from the brackets, with already in the loser bracket, so we'll see how these competitors do. Bob is starting off with some just basic pokes. The main man is able to capitalize on a couple very juicy mids. He is unable to bring it to the wall to finish the wall combo, but now we go back to neutral. Bob is now working on some good mids, just getting some poke damage in. Main man staying on the floor, he was able to kind of swap sides and then finishes off with that nice low 50-50 to get that hell sweep in. Jumping into round 2 immediately. Now main man is the one who's starting that early aggression, unable to get a crit hit for a launch or anything. Bob gets his sweep off, a beautiful pickup off that spring kick, but is unable to get a full dash, but is still able to get a throw to do some nice wall combo damage. The main man's trying to struggle back, kind of misses a whiff punish right there. Oh, gets the nice wall splat. Is Bob able to finish it up? No, it looks like main man is putting on the gas still, putting on some good aggression. Ooh, but Bob is working on those low pokes and yep, is able to finally capitalize and score the round to even out the rounds. Main man again is still starting very aggressively. Let's see exactly how Mr. Green wants to adapt to that change. Again, going back to pokes, nothing too big. We haven't seen a juicy electric yet out of the main man. I'm wondering if he's holding that off just for a punish or whatnot. Ooh, that was a really good kind of setup that he was able to score some damage off of Mr. Green. But Mr. Green is still battling on. He's trying to keep the main man back to the wall. And oh, this rage art. It's probably not going to be enough to kill, but it's going to do massive damage. And now it's going to be kind of the last hit. Mr. Green does his rage drive, blocked, and then a nice load to kind of finish it up for the main man. So the main man's one round away from kind of capitalizing on this first game. We'll see how this goes. Just some very basic pokes, which we've seen already from these competitors. Our first electric, second electric, third electric. Unfortunately, none of them actually connect for the big damage that we need. Finally, one of the hell sweeps is blocked. Mr. Green is able to unfortunately not capitalize on that. Tournament nerves are definitely kicking in for Mr. Green. The main man is definitely getting away with murder in some of these places. Oh, just misses that wall. He must have just thought it was a little bit closer than it needed to be. Another rage art. Did he hit a button? No, and main man is able to capitalize on a beautiful electric to finish off with game 1. So we'll see if Mr. Green is just going to jump back in, change stages, or even change character. Based on the Tekken World Tour rules, you can either change the stage or change a character. And it looks like he is going to pick something a little bit different. The Mishima building. So this is a non-square building. There's no wall breaks on this area, so we'll see how it changes from the next game. We were seeing kind of Bob kind of do some desperation moves with his rage drives. His early pokes weren't too bad, but then it looks like just kind of nervousness kind of kicks in. So we'll see how Mr. Green wants to adapt in this game 2 versus main man. Main man opening up with a low into electric 3. Oh, misses the 4-5. It's an extremely difficult combo to do. Now he's just kind of showboating. And almost, yep, nearly a perfect, other than that low at the beginning of the round from Mr. Green. A beautiful sidestep and down forward 2. Nice little mid check. Unable to get the critical hit. Bob is able to get the critical hit, and with the Oki setup to get just a little bit extra damage. Both characters are trying to look for something pretty big. A beautiful punish from Mr. Green, but now here come the hell sweeps. Main man opts for just kind of a mid option rather than going for multiple hell sweeps. Another throw. Main man hasn't been able to break any of those throws thus far. Mr. Green's bringing it to the wall. This should be blocked and then punish. And so Mr. Green is able to tie up the rounds in game 2. We'll see how this aggression kind of starts at the beginning. Oh, now both characters are actually being fairly passive. Mr. Green does a dash up into a low. MainMan has been kind of taking those low hits pretty easy, like he's not trying to check it just yet. So I'm wondering if Mr. Green is going to be able to observe that and just kind of work on that chip damage. But MainMan is able to get a massive launch, unable to capitalize on the electric to finish out that damage. Some more electrics being thrown out. 3 very big moves in a way, but none of them pay off for MainMan. Oh, this MainMan should still be alive, so we got to watch out for Mr. Green, as now Kazuya has his Rage Art available. And oh, beautiful. Mr. Green is able to capitalize on that, so making a game point for Mr. Green as we're entering in round 4. Beautiful hell sweep into a mid. Some nice checks for that 1-2. Working on that high, nice 10 frame. Mr. Green's coming back, some nice strings coming, but MainMan is able to capitalize and punish it, and that was actually a very quick round that the MainMan was able to score off. So now game point for each of these competitors. Ooh, a beautiful Oki, just kind of 3 to get that launcher. Some good juicy damage. MainMan is just working those mids, has his low blocked. And then again, that's the 3rd throw that we've seen from Mr. Green that MainMan was unable to break, and just we'll see how Mr. Green wants to adapt that damage. A nice beautiful mid, and is able to actually capitalize on that low at the end of the round, which is going to bring it to our last game of the set to see how these competitors do. MainMan just jumps into it, doesn't even consider doing a stage change or a character change. He's just looking at finishing out this round. So we'll see exactly what changes that he decides to go about as we enter in. Again, he starts off very aggressively. A nice little kind of crouching punch into the hell sweeps, into a mid directly. It seems that Mr. Green was able to be blocking the second hell sweeps in the chain, so that's why MainMan is probably opting for those mid options. Goes for the crit hit 3, but is unable to capitalize. Gets a nice beautiful electric, brings it to the wall for that massive Kazuya damage, and goes for the unblockable setup to close out that round. Mr. Green just got deer in the headlights and just ate all that damage. Oh, beautiful block, but Mr. Green was unable to capitalize. We are now on our 4th grab that Mr. Green is able to throw. MainMan gets some nice wall damage, but MainMan is not stopping the aggression, in which he just immediately starts that launcher and gets some damage back onto Mr. Green. Mr. Green's low is blocked, and with that beautiful wall standing 13 frame Punisher, Kazuya is able to do some massive damage and keep Mr. Green's back to that wall. And just with a quick little mid check, MainMan is closing it out for game point. We'll see. Oh, opens up with a double hell sweep. That must have been a mistake rather than going for the kind of 2 option. And there we have it again. Let's see if he's going to keep checking those lows. Nope, he's able to get kind of kicked out by Mr. Green. Again, some mid options being thrown out for some big damage. Some nice knockdowns going on. We have a beautiful electric. Let's see if this takes it to the wall for the kill, and bam, just with that wall chip damage, MainMan is able to close out and win.